Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades, and yep, let's just get into it. And right now we could see that Bitcoin is up to $19,339. An impressive move actually for Bitcoin, as we can see the dollar strength index surging today all the way up to 114.4. Ultimately right now we are getting rejected right here. I guess you could say, you could call it a channel, or you could just call it a trend line if you want, but ultimately we did make contact with this level right here at 114.4. So basically this area that we've been looking at in the Discord in the last few weeks, and now we are starting to get a little bit of a pullback in the dollar. Again, a lot of the rise in the dollar today is associated with the GBP, or the British pound, losing a lot of its value with the tax cuts. We could take a look. Oh my lord, a big move towards the downside today, as low as 1.03 before bouncing back up to 1.07. But ultimately it hasn't been this low in decades. I think the last time it was this low was 1982 or 1984 or 1985, like we covered in yesterday's video. So we are in unprecedented times right now. Very crazy. Now let's get back into it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, where Bitcoin could be going next. Again, if the DXY does get a significant pullback, I do see Bitcoin starting to get a little bit more upside, potentially to 19,500 before we start to see some resistance. But again, 19,500 to 700 is where I'm going to be looking to potentially enter a short. Again, if you guys want to see my trades, the link is in the description, and also my profit loss history is also posted on my website. You guys can go check in the description. Everything has been posted there. Let's actually get rid of this trend line. Don't really need to use that one anymore. Now, the S&P 500 is nearing a double bottom, or a potentially forming the early stages of the double bottom. Again, nothing is confirmed because we do need to see some more upside in the markets, and then you have your double bottom formation, and then you can start moving back up towards the upside. But again, the fundamentals are very weak in the markets. They're very bad, I should just say, and things are getting really bad. We can see that the markets are up 0.79% right now, so we might see some green tomorrow, and that's probably why we're seeing a little bit more upside in Bitcoin at the moment. But again, if the Fed keeps raising rates, the dollar is going to continue to surge, and the markets are going to continue to fall. You can take a look at the 10-year note, and the 2-year is actually surging an absolute moon. And the 2-year looks almost like an altcoin at this point. As you guys can see, vertical takeoff in the yields on the 2-year note, as high as 4.3 at the moment. Again, next level of resistance that I would see for the 2-year, let's zoom out here. Let's take a look. We could potentially see a potential pivot low from these levels right here around 4.5, 4.51. But after that, you're gonna have to take a look at maybe 5.1. But again, the yields are extremely overbought right now. And something that's interesting to note as well on the dollar strength index is down on the monthly time frame. It is reaching some extra overbought levels on the RSI. I think the last time that we were at these levels, as you can see right here, back in 1985, and right here in 2015, that was a top on the dollar. Oh, sorry, I should say right here. Where am I going? Oh, I'm getting a little bit lost here. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. There we go. I'm thinking back here. But overall, sorry, it was right here, and then we saw a big drawdown on the DXY. There we go. I got a little bit confused there. Sorry, a little bit of a brain fart. But moving on, we got to see that we also topped out right here back in 1985 before we saw the Fed cut rates, and then we saw the dollar start to plunge once again. Now, are we nearing this level? Could we go up a little bit more? Absolutely. We could definitely maybe go as high as 120, 121 before we see a massive pullback in the yields. But again, that could be in December or even January. And the Fed is reiterating every single day that they will not be cutting rates. But at the same time, they also said that they will not be raising rates until 2023 or 2024. And you know what? They've already raised the rates to 3.25% right now, I believe, and they're gonna raise them to 4% or 4.5% or 4.25%, I believe, to by the end of the year. So that just tells you that whatever the Fed says doesn't mean anything. It's what they do that has, you know, an effect on the market. So if the Fed is going to cut the rates, then the market is going to react. But yeah, you guys get the picture. We are extremely overbought right now on the dollar strength index, and a pullback could be in the cards, but it doesn't mean it has to happen right now. Now let's take a look at Ethereum. It's a little bit some altcoins. Let's dive into some altcoins right now. Let's take a look at Ethereum, see what it's doing. Basically just chopping sideways. Again, we found some support around the 1243 area. We are going to see some resistance around the 1416 area. Again, we will be placing some shorts in the Discord, and ultimately, excuse me, if the SPY does make another leg down and starts to go towards the 2020 highs, the 2020 pre-COVID highs, then you're going to see Bitcoin potentially start to give in and maybe retest these lows right here, and going to test maybe some lower lows. And again, that's going to be the ultimate test for Bitcoin. If we go back up and start to reverse back towards the downside and test these lows once more, that's going to be the ultimate test to see if Bitcoin can hold these levels with the S&P 500 crashing. But yeah, my opinion, I'm quite bearish. You know, everybody in the Discord knows where I stand in the markets. Of course, we could get a pump, and we could actually take a look at the bullish case versus the bearish case right now for the S&P. And let me just pull up this chart right here that I found on Twitter. People keep tweeting all this stuff, and yeah, there have, you know, for the bulls versus for the bears. And we could see that for the bulls, you know, we could potentially form a double bottom, right? And then start to reverse back towards the upside and start mooning. But right now the fundamentals are extremely weak, and that's why I'm so bearish right now. And we could see right here, there you go, we could maybe form a double bottom and then start to go back towards the upside. Again, in my opinion, that is the most unlikely scenario for the bulls. You know, if we bounce up and we have a, you know, a lower low in the markets, potentially go back down to the 2020 highs, something like here during the 2008 financial crisis, we get a slight little bounce right here, and then we start to rip down towards the downside as we get into the first half of the as we get into Q1 2023. Again, my target for the year end for 2020 in the S&P is around 3,400, or basically the 2020 pre-COVID highs. But yeah, anyways guys, thanks for listening. You guys are awesome. Actually, before I end the video, let's take a look at oil, because oil made its way down, all the way down to $77. Again, my target, like I've said many times, for when we were up here was around $75. And look what happened. We just pulled all the way back down to $77 today. We are in a slight little bit of a long position. Again, Discord members getting access to my trades, and we can see that right now, if we do start to move back, or not move, but you know, get a little bit of movement towards the upside, we will be taking profits around the $85 mark. Anyways guys, thanks for listening. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to join the Discord, the link's in the description. And if you guys want to sign up for Big Get Trading, which is where I do all my crypto trades, the link is also in the description. Love you guys. Peace.